Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Gargoyles episode reviews. Today we're looking at City of Stone Part 4. Yes, this is the final part of this set. With Demona's help, Macbeth is pushing the English from Scotland, but an overheard word can change the fate of nations. Again, Demona is the betrayer. The hunter returns to finally claim his victims. Death will have to wait a few centuries for them, though. In the present, Macbeth confronts Demona in the Erie building. He's tired, and he's not going to take any more of Demona's schemes. Lives hang in the balance, depending on what the apathetic former king does next. Check out City of Stone, Episode 3, if you are lost, and you can watch it or listen to it. Alright, spoilers are in the 2020 sections, and info from Ask Greg is in the According to Greg bits. Season 2, Episode 12, City of Stone, Part 4. Reasons for existence, to continue the histories of Demona and Macbeth, to show that Xanatos can play the hero well when he wants, to introduce the truce between Xanatos and Goliath, to prove that they can work together, to pit Demona and Macbeth against each other, to reveal more of the Weird Sisters plot, to explore the theme of vengeance and its horrible consequences, to explain how Demona and Macbeth are immortal. Well, here we go again. Main antagonist, Demona and the Hunter. Times, November 12th through the 13th, 1995, and 1057 AD. Locations, New York City, New York. Castle Moray, unnamed locations in Scotland. Alright, I love it when the episode starts with an establishing shot of the Erie building. Here we are, it's the front of it. Ever beautiful. It means we're jumping in on the antagonist side, and it's going to involve House Xanatos. Reunion. We don't waste any time picking up where we left off with Demona raising a mace over Elisa and, more importantly, Owen. Bronx, barrels in, pinning her against the computer desk. Using her nice voice, she calms the gargoyle dog. He's sophisticated, but he doesn't understand everything people say, as evidenced by him backing down, even though she explains what she'll do instead of crushing Elisa. She'll change the timers on the gas packs to explode 10 minutes early. This will catch the gargoyles and Team Xanatos in the fire, but not produce enough fire to break the spell. I'm not sure how she knew exactly how much fire would be required and exactly what time period would may be a fatal fire, but not a fire big enough to meet the requirements of the spell. Whatever. Then she'll use her laser to kill Bronx, Owen, and especially her, meaning Elisa. Now, admit it, you have used a cute voice to say mean things to dogs. Who's a stupid dog? You are. Since only the Steel Clan has exploding packs, I'm assuming she's relying on the burning gas to kill the gargoyles. Now, when I first watched this as a kid, I thought everybody's packs would explode, which made no sense to me. The exploding robots themselves might even kill a gargoyle or two. Her lust for vengeance and obsession with destroying humanity truly knows no bounds. She's written off the whole clan because they don't share her hatred. As far as we know, Goliath's clan and Demona are the last of the gargoyle species. Xanatos said as much, and if anybody would know, he would. Then again, he's not exactly a reliable narrator. So, are there more? If there aren't, then Demona is wiping out the last of her kind, aside from herself. Yes, the species would die out anyway, since the clan is all male, unless she took, other steps. However, now she's actively killing them. Her obsession will destroy humans and gargoyles from the earth. Then who's she going to rule? 2020 moment. Demona doesn't say anything about the many other gargoyle clans around the world, but this situation makes me wonder if she knows about them. If she does, then it makes sense that she's fine with killing Goliath's clan. However, if she does not know about it, maybe she has had a magical solution, or maybe she's just that mad with vengeance and hatred. Now, at some point, and I guess we'll look at this more when we get into the comics, I thought that one of the gargoyles clans had mentioned meeting Demona, but I could be making that up. I don't know. We'll have to see. Then, who should appear but Macbeth, using the same secret passage Demona used? Okay. How does he know about it? He's never been to Wyvern, other than when he came to kidnap the gargoyles, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't finding secret passages because it looked like Owen was keeping a nice eagle eye on him the whole time. Also, how does Demona know Xanatos is ignorant of the passage? You gotta wonder, too, where all Xanatos' beloved cameras went. How did Demona not trigger an alarm somewhere? Anyway, Macbeth, the finder of secret passages, is wearing the hunter's mask. He's come to finish what he started at PMS. What with the inhabitants of the city frozen in stone, it wasn't hard to spot all those robots and gargoyles taking off from the world's tallest building, he says. Yeah, makes me wonder how everyone missed that in Awakening. And there's Macbeth in his usual get-up with his armor and his trench coat, but he's wearing the hunter's mask, and there's Demona looking kind of surprised. And there's the tapestry behind him. I think it opens to the subway station or something. Jeez. He's not here to save the clan or Xanatos, though. He's here to kill Demona. I want it over between us, he says. Right, semi-side note. After 900 years of animosity between Macbeth and Demona, Demona kept her name. I'm rather surprised she stuck with the whole name idea in the first place. It's a human concept. Why use something from a culture or species that you hate? But I think she's been heavily influenced by the humans. Also, she sees the benefit in a name. When humans back then heard the name Demona, they feared and respected her. It's got a lot more power than that blue female gargoyle that Macbeth made his advisor. Rolls off the tongue better. I'm surprised she kept it as Demona, though. People who get divorced usually change their names back to what they were before the disaster of marriage. She and Macbeth share a bond that's far deeper than marriage. Every time she thinks, says, writes, or hears her name, she must remember Macbeth. Is it perhaps a goad for her, egging her on her hatred of traitorous humans, even though she was the traitor? Or is it like the name Yankee? The Brits meant it as a slur, but we Americans adopted it and have made it a name that invokes pride. Along that line, does the name Demona remind her that she easily took advantage of and outmaneuvered him? Whatever the case, it's a good, strong name. I can't think of a better name for her, honestly. 1057 AD. There's a battle scene. Armies are attacking each other, and the gargoyles are right in there. The hunter and Demona struggle. Wait, the hunter's back? It must be Kenmore. This must be what Demona meant when she said, "How many times must I destroy you?" She first saw Macbeth and the hunter's mask, so she meant the hunter, not Macbeth. Canmore isn't the fighter that Gilcom Gain was. They fail to kill each other, though. Shocking. Side note, even a small force of gargoyles can change the course of a battle, as we have seen. This makes me wonder why the humans haven't gone to more lengths to enslave or co-opt the gargoyles as beasts of war, so to speak. Demona flies back to report to Macbeth. They haven't won, but they're close. They'll drive the English and the hunter out of Scotland. She's so excited and optimistic, she actually lifts Macbeth up and spins him around. He is less enthusiastic. Seems he has something on his mind. He excuses himself. Yeah, Macbeth is not the hugging type. What's bothering him was, and is, Bodhi. The annoying former ginger, he's a lot older now and he's got white hair, is whining for Macbeth to ditch the gargoyles. Apparently the English are only here to wipe them out, since they believe the hunters' tales of their evil. Yeah, I don't think they're only after the gargoyles. I think they're more interested in taking over Scotland. It's a bit more motivating than eliminating the last of a species. Before Macbeth can lay out his faithfulness to the gargoyles, his son Luach barges in for the discussion. He is loyal to the gargoyles and demands to know how Macbeth can stand to listen to the nonsense about betraying the Gargs. And there the three of them are, discussing this. Luach is starting to wonder if he'll ever get to be king anyway. Come on, Dad, give me a turn. Macbeth takes his time, sadly, to try and teach Luach to be more circumspect. He should have just agreed with him, since he believes the same thing. Outside, Demona is eavesdropping. As Macbeth's advisor, she should be in there, in that discussion. She knows this. Evidently, she's been in many other meetings. The fact that she wasn't invited rankles. It also makes her suspicious. She's been betrayed by humans many a time. Or so she thinks, even though she was the betrayer. So she's not disposed to trust, or even though she and Mac have been allies for 37 years. Demona leaves before she can hear whatever Macbeth says to Luach. Or says after Luach leaves. According to Greg, Macbeth laid it on the line for Bodhi, telling him the gargoyles were loyal and he would be loyal to them. Well, it's a shame she left before that. Amazing how history would have changed if she had lingered just a few seconds longer. Well, this isn't going to be good. Run from your problems. Later, another battle rages. The English are attacking Castle Moray. One of the men escapes to tell Macbeth that the Gargoyles have deserted. They are outnumbered now 5-1. What did I say? Now Demona's the betrayer again. The English break through and begin an assault on the castle itself. The fighting is fierce. Macbeth goes to save Groch, who's trapped in a fiery bedroom. Those castles, that stonework just goes up like kindling. She's old now, but she's still beautiful. They're a handsome and distinguished couple. Their love is as strong as ever. There they are, exchanging a kiss as Macbeth holds her. The castle is falling. The English break through as the defenders are really bad shots with boulders and arrows. I'm still not sure how a small clan of gargoyles was supposed to fend off an army. I guess they had wings, but even then it's not really flight, it's gliding. So we got some shades of Castle Wyvern here with those catapults. Groch advises him to fight another day, so he should flee. He does, taking her to the same hill where long ago he told her to marry Gilcomgain. They're on the ropes, but he's ready to come back swinging. But who should meet him? The hunter, who removes the hood to reveal Canmore, son of Duncan. Not surprising. Macbeth is at a loss for who this guy is. This enrages Canmore. It does echo Demona's meeting with Gilcomgain when he asks if she remembers her handiwork, and she says no. Well, Big Head starts in on how evil Macbeth is and how Mac murdered Duncan. Yeah, last I checked, Duncan was fighting in a battle against Macbeth. That's fair. It was actually a duel, a one-on-one duel, which is even more fair. Also, I hate Kenmore's hairstyle. It's just not flattering. Macbeth warns him to stay in his lane. Years ago, Mac offered mercy, and he'll do it again if Canmore will stand down. Duncan was evil, and he got what he deserved. And there's Macbeth. He's got a hooded cape on, and they're in the fog. He's got his sword out. Don't you hate it when people come up to you and expect you to remember them, and you've only had contact with them for about 5 seconds in your entire life? Well, Canmore's not alone, though. Demona reveals herself. There's a wonderful, iconic scene of her standing on an outcropping of stone with a giant full moon behind her, and she's got her wings caped around her. Her eyes are glowing red. There's some mist all about her. And we get a close-up of her with one wing raised, and she's pointing accusingly at Macbeth. If that isn't intimidating, nothing is. She's betraying Macbeth before he can betray her. Mac is stunned. We've been allies for 37 years, he says. Yeah, well, all good things, I guess. There he is, looking quite angry with his fist clenched. No alliance lasts forever. Yet again, Macbeth's loyalty has been repaid by betrayal. While they're arguing, Canmore shows that he is more sensible than all the villains we've seen in these flashback series so far. He up and shanks Macbeth with a sword. It's straight up murder. To his semi-surprise, Demona also collapses. This is a gift. He was going to have to get rid of Demona anyway. She betrayed Macbeth, and it was only a matter of time before she betrayed Canmore. He's already wiped out the rest of her clan. Whoa, this guy takes no prisoners. This is basically how Owen would be if left to his own devices and pitted against the Gargoyles. They say every villain is the hero of his own story. Canmore is no different. He's saving the country from the Gargoyles. They're evil. He's avenging the death of his father, and he's gaining power for himself. While Canmore sees both Macbeth and Demona fall, when he does, he says it's true what they say. They were linked by sorcery. When one dies, both die. Someone must have seen them share their pain, or perhaps someone knew both Demona and Macbeth before the bargain and then saw them afterward, and then they jumped to a conclusion. However, the rumor started. It no doubt did damage to the king's credibility. It was probably a point of argument at the alehouse. He's linked by sorcery to the demon. No, he's not. Don't be daft. Still, people had to wonder why he was suddenly double his age and why he never got any older. He looks the same and so does she, and as they did 37 years ago. That's more than the usual lifespan for people back then, or so we are told. There they are. Demona and Macbeth collapsed on the ground. Canmore is watching Grok, who has thrown herself upon Macbeth's body. Alright. Canmore spares Grok and leaves, since Luoch has come with reinforcements. If it could have lasted just a little bit longer. Half-time. Yeah, it's not often you get to see a character's life and death from the get-go. It's almost never you get to hear it from them. I love stories about immortals, and this one is no less appealing. The things Demona and Macbeth must have seen and done in 1,000 years is staggering. And also, here's something that I just thought of, because I guess I'm a little slow there. Macbeth has double the time that Demona does. Remember, Demona is asleep for half that time. That's why gargoyles age at half the speed of humans, or roughly that, depending on, how many hours of daylight you've got. Macbeth, however, has been, just regular human for those 1,000 years. So he has had at least the opportunity of getting a bit more time. And I know he has to sleep, but he just has the flexibility to stay up if he wants. Kind of shorten the sleeping period. Anyway, think of how much a person could learn and how their understanding of the world would change. They're either going to be very mature or very skewed. We have both sides of the spectrum in Macbeth and Demona. He's mature to the point of wanting to die. He's done. He's seen it all. He's done it all. She is obsessed with revenge, a desire that's grown exponentially over the years. I think it all depends on what lens you see the world through. How you are now will only become more ingrained in you, unless you take steps to change. This may be good or bad, so get your act together. After 1,000-ish years of watching life and death on Earth, it's no wonder Macbeth is done with it. How tiring to see people make the same mistakes over and over and over again. You see the futility of life under the sun, as King Solomon put it. Stay tuned for the conclusion of the four-parter. Will Macbeth kill Demona and find peace himself? Will Xanatos and the Gargoyles break the spell? You can guess the answers pretty easily, yeah. But the question is, how will they pull off the wrap-up? Alright, so remember to comment here or on the blog of how you thought at this point the four-parter would end. And what did you think when you saw everybody get killed there? And was that something you expected? And how did you feel when you saw that Demona was probably going to betray everybody again? Alright, well, remember to like, share, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next one.